it's a good time to talk about America, including all this. So there's a lot of things that just happened. First, how everyone was their Pride? What did anything y'all did for Pride Month? Because I have some things to say about American things that happened. So I want y'all to tell me what y'all did for Pride first.
I'll go first
Start on
because
a positive note.
mine's short. But yeah, so for Pride content wise, I tried to get like a couple specifically Pride oriented videos out. Um, Pride this month for me, what did it look like? I have been so we live in rural Japan, so it's not like there's much of a Pride event to go to. But not to get too like genuine and gross, but this Pride for me has been a little bit of a sense of rediscovery in myself and my transness and my like identity. I've just been feeling very like like the proud you feel as a trans person. And there's like it's like a different taste of pride. It's like there was this clip of who was it talking about so there's a new video from Dr. Fatima. Let me just have this 2 seconds. Dr. Fatima is talking about like the Nazi book burnings and how trans people are like selected and like targeted first. And it just left me with a sense of like we are that small percent that challenge the gender binary of society and that the right wing cannot stand because by our own definitions as identities we push the boundaries. So I've just been kind of like feeling that and just like feeling my oats. Sorry, that's a really weird answer. I haven't really had much else going on, but I just wanted to just say that. So Pride for me this month has been very internal and it's literally been about pride. Sorry. You go ahead, Bridget. That was my weird answer.
That's cool. So I went to Trans Pride Nottingham for the first time, which I'd never been to before. I went to Trans Pride in Liverpool when I was there. But this is the first time being in my hometown, which I don't believe had one until quite recently. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, the march was all right. There was speeches. Some of the speeches were really good and important. One of them was just holding up blahai or blowhai, however you're supposed to pronounce that,
Oh yeah,
and
I've
telling
got
people
him somewhere.
to clap for the yeah, I've got one over there as well, but telling people to clap for the IKEA shark, which was very strange. Also, they had like no POC speakers, which is odd
Oh.
because they could have easily found those. But that's like a continuing problem in the city, sort of not trans pride scene and the pride scene in general is they don't look for those when they should. Yeah, that was fun. Hung out with people there. Was supposed to go to a friend's party that night, and I felt like absolute shit, so I didn't go. So, but I still went. First trans pride in my city, my hometown where I grew up. Trying to integrate myself back into the community here, so it's a good step. But yeah.
Awesome. Nice questions, Albany. Nice, thank you.
Um, for me, I celebrate only Juneteenth. So I kind of, but I went to San Diego in their queer district, and so yeah, so I went to their best gay clubs for Juneteenth. So I got to
Nice.
celebrate both being trans and a black woman, um, and that was pretty fun. There was a lot of yeah, it was pretty fun. So that's mostly what I did.
That's
With that
awesome.
being said, um, so at the end of Pride on the 30th, aka yesterday, or was the day before yesterday? It's either yesterday or the day before yesterday. The Supreme Court decided to ban trans women, trans girls from sports, particularly targeting trans femmes. Um, and that's how they wrapped up our Pride Month. Along with, I mean, they were trying to snatch away birthright citizenship, but by a hair, that didn't get taken away. But
It's just
it's just
crazy.
kind of
It's crazy.
yeah, we're they're escalating things, and
Mm.
I don't. I mean, all I see is another state trying to bring something up to have another chance to run at it. I mean, that's what they did with affirmative action. They just kept trying with new cases until they got the answer that they wanted. They got the result they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy who did that was Edward Bloom, some guy who was mad that he lost a race in Houston in the 90s, early 90s. And ever since he lost that, he tried to take it to the Supreme Court and said that he was being racially gerrymandered. Mind you, they fucking segregated black people to Houston and Texas purposely. So it's just like, what do you mean? Like, you're trying to use a history of them trying to redline black people in a way for you to play victim because you didn't win the black voters in Houston.
Yeah.
So ever since he lost that race in the 90s, he's made it his mission to go after anything related to black people, from action, anything that benefits black people, he's going after. And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. So we got people like him. I can see them keep trying and trying until they get the answer, or who knows? There's like a retire. It's one of one of them is going to retire soon. There's I think two actually. So we're in a really weird place. And what I will say,
they announced
the good
that Alito was off, right? They announced that Alito was going to retire, or they tried to announce it, and then the news council got deleted.
Yeah, but I mean that'll come up eventually, whenever it comes naturally. But at least they now know, they anticipate. They're looking for new judges. That's they're at that stage. Like, they know it's coming, so they're looking at who's the best person that's going to kiss ass and do what they want them to do, because they're mad at the other few two they got in that don't always align with the Republicans. Sometimes you get the weird cases where any Coney Barrett will just like, you know what, that's a little far. Not on my watch. I'm still a white woman. Let me stand up a little bit. Here and there, she, her white feminism come out when we need it the most. But
bare minimum.
Sometimes.
I mean, one of the scariest parts of that decision, right, is there's basically like they birthright citizenship stayed by like one vote. They're like one off, if I'm right.
Did it?
Which is,
oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Really scary.
It was 5-4.
When you said by,
it was 5-4. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh my god. That's
yeah.
I mean, and
so that's what I mean.
This is how far the American project has come, because it's 250 years, which was celebrated so abysmally, I saw. But that's like one of the main founding constitutional pillars, is it not? That was what was founded when America, the country, was like drawn out of thin air.
When you got a dictator as a president who don't give a damn about no law, no constitution, no nothing, he don't give a damn.
It doesn't give a shit.
So that's where we are. I mean, they're over here making Michelle Obama jokes. Michelle Obama is a man. The stupid freaking UFC fighter. Like, they was like, what the hell does she got to do? She invited her damn business. She hasn't been the first lady since damn 20 fucking
literally
2016, before they had to pass off the damn power in January 27th. Like,
absolutely,
literally, it's been a decade. And just felt the need. That's why I'm like, I've been irritated. They've been irritated the fuck out of me. Like, I'm be real. I was over here sleepy because I had 8 before here, and I'm over here now wide awake because I remember this shit pissed me off. Actually, just fucking with her, and it's just they fucking with us. They just randomly bringing us up. Just like that was a blow at us as well. So, and them them pushing misogynoir, accusing a black woman of being a man, aka a trans woman. It was a double mammy. They went and punched down on us as well. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this is some old, like, fucking 2012 conspiracy theories from Christian nationalists that were afraid of Obama being black, so he was the Antichrist type of shit. Also, that goes back to that. It's that.
It just shows you as well how much they live with this thing in their heads. Like, no one is thinking about that anymore. Like, even on the left, we don't think about Michelle Obama in the same way. She was, like, first lady when she was. No one is thinking about that. Like, he had the mic. This is that guy in the boxing ring or whatever, right? He had anything he could say, and that's what comes out of his mouth. Why is he still thinking about that? Like why is he even thinking about trans women in that moment, or Michelle Obama? Like, it, to me, it does come across as like fetishization, like closeted like thoughts or anything like that. Like, I know people, there's a thing of like, don't just call all of the bullies, they're not like closeted gay people, but like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, you are thinking about trans women more than trans women are. Like, what are you doing? Get over it. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you didn't see Chud the Builder, he just got outed.
I saw stating it. Yeah,
I didn't see this. Please enlighten me. I need to know this. I need to know.
Some white trans girl that knew he was a racist was fucking on him. That's the most. That's as quick as I could give you a summary.
Well put.
But she posted the receipts. she posted photos of him kissing her cheek and whatnot
Oh,
and
they love the dolls.
everything.
All of them love the dolls. Apparently, like
So,
Clavicula as well. Do you both know Clavicula? He was
Yeah.
out in a club recently, and there was a woman who, it turns out she was a cis woman anyway, but chat be chatting in his chat. They were investigating her, but like he leans in and he's like, "I'm sorry to ask, like I know this is insulting, but chat are asking. I have to check, like, are you a trans woman?" Which is also just such a dystopian moment. Imagine if you're at a bar and someone asks, like, "I have thousands of people on a chat that need to just double check that you are a woman before I kiss you." Like, there is nothing there. Talk about the ick. But then so she said apparently,
I
like,
have seen.
oh yeah, apparently
Uh,
she said
I
no,
ha- I ha-
she is.
I
was
have
it the
not.
French
Yeah.
girl? Was it the blonde French girl?
Yeah, she's like a blonde model
So
or something.
I have seen he's now trying to turn it around because there's a whole thing about the other looks maxer. I don't know why we're getting into this, but it's really funny to me. This other looks maxer, like androgenic, is now trying to be the woke looks maxer. So he's been going around like being like all nice to trans people, and like they've been like,
Is this the
and
one
now
that Hassan
Clavicula's been like, actually, I
defended?
would make out with a trans woman as long as she's hot, and it's like, this is crazy to me.
I just can't.
Or when he said his little Pride Month supportive thing, like, why you hated on them? Like, they're minding their. Actually, I'm so surprised. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay,
We'll take it.
you
We're
know,
desperate.
but yeah,
We'll take
you saw
anything.
that comment. He's like, why you hate on them? Like, they're minding their business. Or I wouldn't give her he said, but like,
He said
he's
there were
like,
looks maxing is about optimizing, and trans women are optimizing, and it's
With
like,
the
yeah,
original
yeah.
optimizers. Yeah, T. Oh my god. Anyway, what was it? Back to Trump? Back to the US?
no, yeah, sorry,
I mean,
that was that
yeah.
was our pop moment.
You were saying
He was a
about
I do think-
model for the night.
you were saying about
I
how
do think it shows how stuck they are in the past, though, because they're still talking about Michelle Obama. And this is the common thing across a lot of people in power now, right? Is that, like, they're still stuck in this moment where they thought they were winning. It's like, well, you know, when we said all this racist, sexist shit about Michelle Obama, that was then we won. That's when Trump won. And that's when everyone really liked us. And I feel like it's the same thing with, like, a lot of the Starmer people getting on, bringing that back a second. A lot of these people are still stuck in, like, the 1997 New Labour victory from ages ago. They're like, well, if we just do the same things we did then everyone will like us. It's like, well, no, it's been 30 years and a lot of things have fucking changed and the material conditions have changed. And it's like, people forget, like, you know, when Trump came back in, a lot of the people that voted for him are the younger ones, I guess, not the older ones. They didn't remember what it was like the first time. They're not necessarily cool with all that shit. And it's like a completely different sort of era. And they're just acting like they can just do this and that everyone will just be fine with it. And it's just, it sounds completely fucking alien. And it did before. It did before, but it's just, you know, it's just not one of these things that people can do. Sorry,
because I'm gonna have to keep going because I need to lay down. I'm a little lightheaded, but what I will say is, I don't know if you guys know Cenk Lang. He's like equivalent to like the Nick Shirley type that was accusing Somalis in Minneapolis of using daycares. And that's what got the ICE to go there. It was based off some stupid lie, some pseudo journalist, not a real journalist, none of that. But his equivalent, the other one like that, is Cenk Lang. He got banned in Texas. He just got out of jail. You know where he went? Took his ass to LA to go protest the BET Awards.
Oh my god!
Now I don't know if you know what the BET Awards are, right?
Yeah.
He was outside protesting, saying with the most racist signs in his hand, provoking Black people to assault him. But he did find the right LA person that did win and just pack him up real quick and snatch that sign up and let him know you ain't gonna be doing that over here. Okay, you found the right one. And he over here started running. You know, he went from over here to Bo to start running. We tried to snatch that sign. They snatched that sign out his damn hand. And he started thinking about them punches to start running. But he was over here saying Black people failed as parents, the worst parents in the world. Like these kind of really just very outlandish, very just like
tropes.
I was trying to like provoke, you know, Black people with like racial stereotypes, but like, you know, exaggerated to the extreme on like big ass signs. And he over here with like a bullet vest, thinking there are no guns in California. Okay, nobody got guns in California. We don't got guns. He with his damn bullet. That's why they was punching him in his face, tearing him up. They said we don't need no guns to handle you, and that's when he started running. When he started feeling them hands, And it was funny because he was acting scary because I don't know how tall he is, but some like 6'4" black guy sitting up to him like, "You don't what the fuck is wrong with you?" That's when he started running because he realized he wasn't the tallest person in the room no more.
Incredible.
And
Before you go,
yeah,
Solvin, do you want to
so
talk about DSA?
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say,
while we
yeah,
have you.
okay.
okay, yeah, that's a
DSA.
good endpoint. So right now, Mamdani, so there's like multiple candidates, not just these. So Mamdani, I believe last week endorsed 3 social democrat candidates and in New York, and they all won, which shook the table for both the right and the left. The Democrat centrists, the corporate Democrats are all bitching on the news, on every station, all like afraid that socialism is going to take over. And they're using the same talking points that the right wingers are using, and they're freaking out. They're doing the most, but they're having the Senate leaders of like the Republican Party leaders in the Senate having meetings like we can't let them take over the Democrat Party, and like they're freaking out. They're thinking they're about to lose this midterms. So this is a lot of this shakeup, and then what yesterday, a 29-year-old took a 33-year seat candidate out her damn seat, and what's it called, Colorado, snatched her out.
We love to see it.
So, and then someone else. So I think in total it's been 5 Democrat socialists who just swept, and that is good news because I think even though we need to go further than Democrat socialists, but it's a step in a direction where we're in the 11th hour and people are finally getting it together at the 11th hour. I know it sucks, but at least they started with the midterms, because once we get to 2028, I mean, it is going to be the election of all elections. The world will be watching because both the Republican and the Democrats have started from scratch. Both party, there's no incumbents. It's just and that is going to be the biggest Democrat primary of they're going to be scheming and scamming as much as so you got to prepare for all that. That's going to be the most scheming DSC of all. They're going to show their ass.
The scandals that are going to come out, the like personal,
it's going to be pre-rigged.
It's going to be drama.
This
last
is going
season
to be
of America.
like
what they're going to pull to stop AOC winning? We're going to find out, right? Like it's going to be crazy what they pull off.
It's going to be crazy.
It's the games of DNC. That's what you're going to be seeing. The games of DNC.
But like I think like
the way,
the feeling is also that like the boundaries of democracy in the US, which to me globally as well is a bit of a facade. Like it's meant to facilitate the assumption that the people are free, but they're not. But like that is now, it looks like with the DSA and from like Zohran and everything, is pushing the boundary of that. And I'm like, will it break through or will it like be snapped back and they just we'll get see, like right? Completely and I guess that's what we're going to see.
I mean, it's one of these things, right? Like Zohran himself said, right? So like, oh sorry, please.
Okay, I'll just add my predictions real quick. My prediction is it's not just better late than never. It's not just, it is 11th hour. Let's be real. It is 11th hour. Let's be real here. It is the 11th hour. We needed this wave back in 2022, 2020. But anyways, we're having these candidates that are winning. That means remember we have the progressive 5. We call them the progressive. It's not 5 no more. So I think we get enough Democrats that win, Democrat socialists that win within this primary, within this midterm. And there's a couple other elections still popping up, special elections. Someone might resign, someone might pass away because they're so old, etc. There's so many opportunities. By the time it's 2028, there's going to be the most amount of Democrat socialists and progressives within the American Congress Party and the Senate ever, where they can all come together. There's enough of them to come together to put their support behind a candidate that people, because before Bernie only had like 3-4 starting, he had Ro Khanna, he had AOC, and several others, Elon Omar and several others. But putting aside that, we don't just have them no more. We have just a new wave of freshman socialists that came in. And I think just the midterm numbers enough. That's enough to get all of them get together, especially if it's like in total 10 of them plus 10 candidates coming together for a 2028 candidate. That is power. Let alone the people who are going to be winning special elections between their candidates pass out, pass away, resign, whatnot. Especially with like, there's going to be there was a handful of Republican candidates that said if they lose badly on this midterms, they're what's it called? They're resigning.
Yeah.
And so if we make that happen, especially places like Texas where James Talarico is running, and if he wins that seat, whatnot, that's the Senate seat. That's less
Be a
power for the
bloodbath. Yeah.
Republicans. Yeah. So it will probably push people to at least a couple people to resign. You know, we already had Marjorie Taylor Greene, the craziest one of them all. I mean, they'll rather let the sink, separate themselves from Trump, and then come back. There's enough of them that want to do that, and those are the seats that probably Democrat socialists will snatch up. The DNC
Yeah.
will. The DNC has more power than ever, and it's growing. And I think finally people are. I think what it is that America has a literacy problem, a literacy crisis, and people are finally becoming literate enough to know there's better than liberal for the first time, and they're seeing that Democrat socialist exists, and to them that's as far left as it gets, but. They're learning that and they're voting for it, and so it's really is better late than never. But they're finally seeing there are other options than just Democrat corporate Democrats, because of and really what opened it up was Palestine and them calling out them for what they are, and that really exposed it. And that movement is what's bringing in more younger voters who were disenfranchised, had just thought they'd put their hands up like they don't care. They found a candidate that does care, and we're winning by 1 or 2%. A lot of some of these elections they win by 1 or 2%, and that's all you need. So we're all, I think, that's what we need to win in a primary. And I think, I'm gonna be honest, it can't be a white man. It can't, because you know why? Because we can't have Bernie Bro 3.0 at this point, because we need someone like Mamdani, who didn't think of black people as an afterthought once he won the primary. We need someone who realized you can't win the primary without having everyone on board, not treating us like an afterthought and then get surprised we don't vote for you when you don't. When you talk really funny about a lot of black issues or you avoid things. And Bernie had a really bad take on reparations. He's like, what do you mean? You know, verbatim, what do you mean?
Even his like,
I mean, it's going to be AOC, right? It's almost certainly going to be AOC.
I think it has to be AOC. Like I, not to be too witchy on the chat, not to be too witchy on the pod. Okay, I try and keep that shit to myself. I've had like mini premonitions of AOC being the next president. And also this is coming from
yesterday.
No, this is coming from.
She said yesterday they asked her she's running, right? They asked her if she was running for president yesterday, and she refused to deny it, and that's basically confirmation that she's going to do it.
But I also think that there is enough momentum that she could win, because I don't know shit. I'm kind of making this up as I go along, but with like, if there's another 4-year demographic of the older people passing on and younger people voting, right? So like from the previous like election 2 years ago, there's like a 4-year on thing, but also like I think like even in those 4 years we've moved way past the whole like Brat Summer, you know, Harris thing. Like people are even different from then. People are like, fool me once. Do you know what I mean? And like
they're taking it seriously more. They're taking it a little bit more seriously, girl.
And I think all of the like
playing around with elections no more.
Exactly. The middle-aged white men that like didn't quite want to vote for Harris because they're still internally racist. They didn't want to vote, and that's like majority like what lost the election and stuff like that. I think like even a lot of those people are like, anyone that can help, and like better late than never.
And one of the things with AOC as well is because she has sort of, in a lot of, I mean, I criticize her for this a lot for good reason for this, but she has sort of played safe with a lot of options, and now there's a lot of people who wouldn't even touch DSA, which fuck those people, but they vote, that would actually see her as a safe pair of hands, because they think, well, she's proven herself and she's not as radical as they say she is, so she would actually, I think, stand a good chance. But I'll be back in 1 second.
I think she's just been preparing herself to run. I think that's really what she was. I think she was playing 3D chess while people were criticizing her. Whether you agree with her or not, she was probably preparing the map to be able to run.
Yeah.
If she decided to. So I think what we're seeing, what we're criticizing her, which we rightfully are criticizing, we don't like to see her doing that, is her making connections with people when she does decide to run. There's people who won't make them, that's not their first choice, but if she were to win the primary, they wouldn't mind bending the knee to her and falling and supporting her, especially against the Republican. They don't want the Republican to win again. This is their chance. But I do
Yeah,
believe
agree.
that AO, and also look at it on like a looks master aspect. She's younger.
She's young, she's
People
beautiful.
they want a younger candidate, and the white man that wasn't voting for Kamala Harris, they're stupid. But oh, I hate this about men. I hate this about white men. But they're
But
gonna
I
say,
think
"Oh, a
you're
big booty Latina."
but you're
Stupid shit. But they're gonna vote for
it's
the hot Latina. They're stupid ass heads, those
it's
misogynists.
gross,
But
but it's probably true. Like it can be
it's
gross
it's
and
gonna be
true. It
some
can be
vote.
both.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, well, didn't she
yeah.
get when even before? Didn't she get like an odd amount of people that voted for Trump and her or some stuff? You know, like there's been times when she's kind of crossed party boundaries because she looks competent, and at the end of the day, that is something people vote for. I don't know. I don't know. I just have this vibe. I just have this vibe that like it
Yeah.
could
Plus
happen, and
Latinos. I'm gonna tell you this: the Latino voters is what sway America right
that's
now
true. They
because
voted for Trump a
the
lot, didn't they, or
amount
something
of right now they
before?
are literally like it's to the point where black voters we need everyone included, and then we still got the Latinos that outnumber enough of us in the voter base because
Yeah,
they make because black people only make 14% of American population. Latinos
yeah,
make I believe 22%.
right.
So
So it's way less.
that is
Yeah,
almost double of the
yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
population of voter base. So,
And
and there's a
again,
lot on the vote Trump.
and if they vote together, that then becomes like a third of the population. So it's like huge swaying power, you know, and that's
Yeah, and they're very
maybe something AOC
nationalistic.
can
Let's
do.
be real. They love
Yeah,
seeing Hispanic, and
patriotic.
if that's their one chance to get their first Hispanic president, they voted for her. Because I think what it is that like with Kamala Harris, there was a lot of racist Hispanic people. I'm half Mexican, so let me speak from that. There was a lot of racist Mexican people, Hispanic people that were like, "Oh, before the first woman of color be president, oh, it's not gonna be you. I will damn sure make sure it's not a black woman first. It'll be a Latina before you." And that's basically they're like, "I'll make sure that
Oh,
happens." That's how a lot of them went. So AOC runs the same people that say that bigoted shit. They'd be more open to like, you know what, fuck it, like,
well, and
and
also,
we need those
is it
little
And
is
we
it
can't really
also?
percentages.
discount as well like the effect of like Gaza and stuff on like Kamala, right? And the stuff that brought her down.
Yeah,
Being attached to the Joe
Yeah,
Biden administration, him saying no
fully.
daylight and her not being able to like really separate herself from him. And also her being AOC still being DSA. And so she has like a bit more left credibility
Hmm,
than you might expect
Harris
given
did.
some of her positions, you know.
But just to say what,
I think she'll be more left than Bernie for sure, and that's the one thing we
Mm.
need: someone more progressive than Bernie. Bernie is a old white man
oh
that
yeah,
is
His
again.
time is definitely done. His time is done
his
for
time
sure.
is done.
Yeah.
He
He's
needs to
too.
retire. He's literally like the second oldest
Well,
fucking
I think
senator, and he just won't relinquish his power and give it. He's gonna die in power and not have a protege to pass down.
I I think that might
I
also
think
be the
she's his
tipping point.
protege, to be fair. Yeah.
I agree. I think like I think a underlying thing that people are also starting to be aware of is the ageism. Obviously, like racism and misogyny and stuff like that are all key points that affect this. But like we've gone from the right wing judging Biden for being Sleepy Joe, and now Trump can't stay awake for more than 20 minutes. I think that anyone youthful might also have a bit of an edge just because they can. In a debate, it's not going to be. Imagine AOC actually debating Trump. It's not going to be a competition. Imagine AOC debating JD Vance. Like, what the hell? That
I
would
was gonna
be
say it'll be
comical
JD Vance,
gold.
and he is
He'd be like, well,
charisma
I
vacuum,
mean,
charisma
AOC, she
let's
vacuum.
be
don't
clear.
back
Like,
down.
no, yeah, she's a fighter and has energy. And I think that's like super crucial.
That's the problem with Bernie. Bernie was playing little like, oh, you were good friends. He was just doing the kind of like,
I once again,
um,
it's just a bit bland. Yeah.
yeah. So he was trying to do the get along,
Yeah.
like, what's the word? But like AOC, like she's defended Jasmine Crockett from people being racist, and she was like, "Oh hell no, not in front of me." So
Yeah.
she's the kind of type where she's gonna call the shit out, and I think we need that
We love
kind
to
of
see it.
energy. And I think she knows not to come weak.
Yeah.
AOC knows not to come with a weak ass answer. She's not gonna have no weak ass campaign. She know to come with her best heel forwards,
Because
and
these
that's
aren't
probably what we're
weak
gonna get.
times. Because these
Yeah,
aren't civility politics times. This is a serious thing. Fascism is
yeah,
happening.
Yeah.
So, and I
exactly.
think
That's
she's
what I was
the
trying to say. That's what
yeah.
Bernie was doing. He was doing stability politics,
He
and that's
was
why he lost.
5 years too late. Yeah.